Hello everybody. I'm a little bit late tonight because Facebook wouldn't let me do a live video for some reason. It kept coming up saying no internet. Hi Elizabeth. So that was very frustrating, so I've had to try something else. But that's alright, I'm on now. Hi Kerry. So hopefully this will work. Hi Carrie Ann. Hi Glenda. Oh, I need to bring that in. So I am so exhausted. I've had the biggest weekend ever. Hi Donna. Before I forget, and I need to write this on a post-it note, the winner of last week's Facebook Live comment draw was Jenny Turnbull. So congratulations, Jenny, to get into the draw for this week. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sue. Just need to leave a comment and like and share my video, and then you go in the draw for next week's giveaway. And I haven't even got a little lucky door prize in front of me to do it because I was busy trying to do something else, but that's all right. I'll send that to Jenny. I'll have to send her a text and ask her for her address because that's the first time Jenny's won, so that's a lovely surprise. So for those that don't know, I've spent all weekend at the Leaders Forum, the Leaders Summit for Stamping Up. So it was a global summit. It was virtual. Hi Roslyn. So it was a global event. It was supposed to be in New Orleans, but because of COVID, obviously no one can travel, so they moved it all online, which was nice. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hi Sylvia. Saturday and Sunday were 4 a.m. starts for me, and Friday was a 6 a.m. start, but they'll finish by lunchtime-ish and things because they started so early. But I had so much fun, and I've got nothing to compare it to because this is my first Leaders Summit, but very, very good. Best summit ever. But I've only got one to compare it to. Lots of stuff, lots of motivational speaking, some new things that are coming, and stuff like that. So to be eligible to go, you have to be Silver Elite and above. And obviously, thanks to everyone that supports me and my team and my customers, I was able to promote to Silver Elite in June. So that was lovely. And I got, so Stamping Up as part of that, sent us a lovely blue box. So it's massive. I'll just bring it out. Hi Lisa. My biggest, my first Tiffany box, but the biggest Tiffany box in the world. And inside are two champagne glasses. So I did post a picture of them up because I don't want to unwrap them again because there is 10 ton of bubble wrap in there. But they was beautiful wine glasses. And then my upline Kim, we met at McDonald's at 4 a.m. on Saturday morning because nothing else is opened on Saturday morning. Gave me a little package. I've opened it now, but it was nicely packaged. And it has a Stampin' Up pen in there. It's got a coffee mug. It had a create wish list, Stamping Up branded, in a nice little box. It also had some Tim Tams that I've eaten, so a caramel 12 that I've eaten, and 2 hot chocolates that I've eaten, and a Zaraffa's voucher. So that was lovely as well. So now I'm looking forward to On Stage, which is in November, which is heaps of fun. So you can only attend these events. On Stage is open to any demonstrator. No customers, but only demonstrators. And there is a great sign-on deal that starts tomorrow. So if you'd like to join my team from tomorrow, there is a great sign-on deal that you get 2 free stamp sets. These are already predetermined stamp sets, so they're the Queen's Anne's lace, which is on the catalogue, and there's another flowery stamp set, I can't remember the name. You get a pack of rhinestones, you get, hi Karen, you get 16 card kits so that you can start holding classes immediately, plus you still get to choose your $235 worth of product for $169. So that's massive value. So you already get 2 stamp sets in that, a pack of rhinestones, 16 card kits. So you're ready to go to run 2 classes. All you need to do is add a couple of inks, maybe some blocks, or if you've already got those, you could add other things to your kit. But $235 worth of product for $169. So if you want to join, and then if you join up, you can attend On Stage in November, which is awesome. So, but registration for On Stage closes tomorrow. But yeah, looking forward to that. So I'm going to flip you around. I need to make Father's Day cards, so I'm making 1. I've got 3 to make. I don't know whether I'll get through 3 tonight. I might just get through 1, but we'll see. So I'll flip you around and we'll start crafting, if this is going to work. Okay. So I have got a couple of sets here. Whiskey Business, Game On, Sailing Home. So Sailing Home is was in the annual catalogue, and it's, well, they're all in the annual catalogue actually, but Sailing Home was in the catalogue from last year. But Whiskey Business and Game On are 2 brand new stamp sets this year. So I've got those. I'm going to do the Whiskey Business one first. So I've got a cinnamon cider card base, a layer of early espresso. We've got a white insert, which I've just stamped already and coloured because the colouring might take a little while, with the glass in Whiskey Business. So I've stamped that. And then this is the World of Good paper. So I've just cut that down to fit on there. And then I've done a layer of the early espresso and the cinnamon cider. And my head is thinking that that's gonna go there. I've stamped the glass, the decanter already, and we'll stamp the sentiment and then colour it in. Now I've stamped everything in early espresso. Sometimes I don't want black, because we seem to use black quite a lot. So sometimes I don't want black, but early espresso I find is a really good alternative. And so we're going to use the sentiment here. Being a dad is Whiskey Business. And I think this cutout is from the Tasteful Labels set. I borrowed it from a friend. I have since bought it, but I've borrowed it from a friend and I cut out a whole heap of labels. So I'm pretty sure this is from that. Oh, I like that a lot. So that can go on there. We're going to close that ink pad up. Now, with these, just colouring them in. So I've got light pool party, light pumpkin pie, light mango melody, and light cinnamon cider. to colour. And I'm just going to do the glass bottle, the decanter, in the light Pool Party. So did everyone have a good weekend? And I'm just gonna go with the light pumpkin pie to start with. And go around the edges, but quite a thick border-ish bit, because I want the cinnamon cider to go over this and you still see a bit of the orange. All right. Hi Rita. Yes, Elizabeth, I do like the early espresso. I just think sometimes when you're giving a, hi Karen, when you're doing the stamping, sometimes the black is, I don't know, it's just not the right colour. Hi Lana. I am trying to make Father's Day cards. I've left it to the last minute. Late specialist appointment Saturday and quiet weekend. Oh, nice. And lazy weekend for you too, Sue. They're the best. I was very tired. I am sure I actually fell asleep in one of the sessions about 9:30. I think I must have dozed off for about 10 minutes or so. But that's what happens when you're up at 4 AM both days. One step ahead of you. Well, I've only got, this is one and it's not yet fully made. I need to make 3. So we'll see. And then I'm just going over all of the colours here. And with the light Mango Melody. And this is to look a bit like scotch or rum, you know, some liquor. Ah, very nice, Lana. Good thing, because they do expire. Today is the last day, and it's not the 11th hour, Lana, because you've got until like 11 o'clock tonight to do it, so you got in there a bit earlier. But yes, the bonus day coupons have to be spent today. You don't spend them, you lose them. So I'm just going over with the dark Pool Party, just to give a bit of definition in some of the areas, and just define that cork a little bit there. Okay, so that's the colouring for that. Now, because I want it to look like a glass, I've done these earlier hoping they would dry. I don't think they're going to dry in time, but I'll show you what I've done. So I've seen a number of videos where you can just go over it with clear embossing liquid, which you can do, and it's probably a quicker option. In the mail, I sent mine 2 weeks ago. Oh. But I don't know whether you can see this on the video, but there's a nice little sheen to this, and it's raised it a little bit. So what I've used is, and I've just got that on me, and I don't have the wipes here, is the fine tip glue. So this fine tip glue comes in a bottle, and it's got a metal tip edge on it. So what I am going to do first though is just cut this out. Oh, thank you. Adrian just bought me the wipes so I can wipe my fingers because I just got glue everywhere. So this mat that I've got underneath here is called a silicone mat, and I use this when I am adhering small items that I'm trying to get glue on, so I don't get glue everywhere or underneath my surface, because the glue doesn't stick to this. So this fine tip glue can get a little bit messy, and it does take a little while to dry. So those that have been crafting for a while, you might remember years and years ago we had a product called Glossy Accents. Craft stores still sell this. Oh, nice. And in the mail I sent mine to. Oh. They should come in your email, Elizabeth, if you're talking about the bonus day vouchers. And what the Glossy Accents does is puts a this cover over the product and makes it, like if you let it dry, it is a adhesive, but if you let it dry, it dries a bit hard and gives you a glossy finish. Okay, so we've got a fine tip glue, and now you don't need a lot. This does go a fair way, and you kind of don't want to go right to the edge because you want to have a tiny bit of a barrier, because it does sometimes spread a little bit. And you just cover the whole surface. Now, if you are doing this with water-based inks, and I've done it, you would have seen me a couple of years ago for my onstage swaps that I did when we went to New Zealand. I made some octopus and did this. But if you're using water-based inks, you need to really let the water-based inks dry, and even then just be a bit careful because the ink will probably run with this. So it is better if you do this with the alcohol markers rather than water-based inks underneath. But when I did the octopus, how the colors run, it actually made it look quite good, because in the image there was a few bits where there wasn't any color that came through, so it kind of just colored his fins or tentacles a little bit more. So it worked out all right. Now I'm just gonna get a wipe, because I've been using the tip here to spread that glue a bit. I'm just gonna wipe that because you don't want that to get all gunky, otherwise it won't work. And then you just need to put, this has a tip in it to keep that open, and you just gotta line that up. But oh no, I've squeezed the bottle so there's air coming out of it. But don't be too forceful, because I've bent 2 or 3 of these already. I've got, oh, this is probably my 5th bottle of this. But if you get a bit rough with it, it will bend, and then it's ruined. So I have kept empty bottles in case that happens, because you can't buy replacement tips or anything like that. So that gives it a nice glossy finish. Doing it on a silicone mat will ensure that if for some reason it does run over and it breaches the barrier that you've kind of put around there, that it's not going to stick to anything. Whereas if you just have normal paper underneath that, it's going to stick to that paper. So I'm just going to put that to the side, and now I've moved it. The inks come off, the glues come off that because there's too much on there. See how that's run? But you can just wipe that off and it's all good because it's on the silicone mat. But I'm just going to pop that up over here and let that dry, and we're going to finish this card and then maybe make another one while we're waiting for that to dry. So I've got my seal, and then I've also got the, hi Pamela, I've got the what's it called? The faux suede ribbon, which comes in early espresso. So I'm just going to pop that around the paper. Probably in the middle-ish. Pop that round and then stick that on the layer of early espresso. And then adhere that down. And I do love this cinnamon cider. There's a few people I've heard that aren't, thanks for sharing, Kerry, that aren't too fussed with it, but I love it. I was really hoping there was going to be a gingerbread set in the Christmas catalogue because I think this is the best gingerbread colour, but there's no gingerbread set. Now with the inside, I do want to stamp another thing. There's quite a few sentiments in here. So on the front, I've got being a dad is whiskey business. And then I think in the inside, I'm going to say straight up, you're the best. So which one's that? Oh, I didn't stick that's this one. Didn't get the sticky off that. Oh, I think I need to clean my block. I cleaned my trimmer today. It was a bit disgusting. I probably should have cleaned my block at the same time. I was doing an assignment today. I was on a study day trying to do emotional intelligence. Oh, 2,500 words is a bit hard to come up with, I can tell you. Okay, so we're going to put those away. And then adhere that to the inside of our card. Okay. Oh, what I wanted to do. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to lift it up now. I wanted to use some of these antique sliders. Is that going to come up? Probably not. All right. These sliders, that's a pretty brain taxing assignment. Oh, it is, Donna. It's so frustrating. And it's all on self-awareness, and I've had to do all these surveys and then send out surveys to other people. So how this works is I've got a piece of ribbon here. If you stick the ribbon, you need skinny ribbon like this ribbon or the other ribbon. And it fits in there, and then it can be put on the card like that. And that was my intention, but this seal is so good that I'm not going to be able to get that up without ripping that. So we will forget that. But in these antique, what are these called? Antique corners and slide elements, there is these corners, which I was going to use anyway. And they just sit in the corner of here. So I'm going to stick them on. Now, I've just stuck these on in the past with a glue dot. And these are not like, if some other people might, because I know I've got some corner embellishments that actually fit on the corner and you clamp together. They're not like that. These are completely flat. So you just need to stick these down. When I first bought them, I kind of thought they fitted around a corner like the other ones that I've got from other stores. But no, these are flat, which is really good. And that just fits on there. So doesn't that finish that off? So in this pack, you get 30. So you must get like 14 ribbon sliders and 16 corners or something. Because I don't think they'd give you 15 corners, because that's a bit funny. But I didn't add them up. So I need some dimensionals. Oh. Yeah, I like the corners. Lisa, it kind of just gives it, steps it up a little bit. Okay. So I want that to go there. And that can go down there. But I'm not liking that. That's looking very plain. So there's this wood stamp, and I've just stuck that on there, but we're gonna steel stamp on here. Get early espresso and ink it up, stamp off a couple of times, and then so this is like second generation stamping, just to give it a bit more something. Oh, I like that, because it was just looking a bit out there, and you can't stick, well, I've done it before, but you can't really stick bling on a bloke's card. So that just fills in some white space a little bit. Okay, and then stick that down there. Now the idea is that once these dry, I will stick them on here. Now you don't want to be touching these when they're not completely dry, because otherwise you'll end up with fingerprints in there and stuff, but yeah. Oh, that is a bit stuck. Okay, and just wipe that off. Okay, so we'll wait until they dry, which will probably be tomorrow maybe, to finish off that card. But you get the gist of that. Now I want to use this Lucky Me set, and I have nothing prepped for this, so let's get some cards out. Yeah, and it makes it look a bit more like a glass, so it gets that shiny thing on there, like shiny reflection. There, you can sit there with a heat embossing tool and clear embossing, but for those that don't have heat embossing tools or things like that, this is a great alternative. You just got to be, if you're going to use the watercolor markers, the heat embossing probably will work better because the colors won't run as much. Whereas if you're using the glue, as long as you're using alcohol markers, it won't run. Alright, that's a tiny stamp that I can probably lose, isn't it? Okay, now I need to get some cardstock because I have nothing prepped. I think I'm going to use grey. I do like basic grey. Go Merry Merlot. I do like that together. With white. So we'll have a basic grey, can't even talk properly. Basic grey cardstock, which hopefully that is half a card. Oh, cut a bit off that. Okay, half a cardstock. So I do get asked sometimes how I store my cardstock. I have these zippy bags and I put all my pieces of A4 and I put all my scraps in here, and then I have each of these in a magazine holder. So each colour family in a magazine holder. So then we will have a layer of the Merry Merlot. I think we might even do the same layout. So then that will be the grey. And then this way, when you need a scrap, you've got your scraps already cut in here so that you're not having to cut a brand new piece every time. I think they're all the same size, which is not big enough. Because I was finding I was just cutting too many bits of cardstock and ending up with too many scraps that I was never using. Now I'll keep scraps sometimes that size, but anything smaller I don't really bother. And then once I get too many scraps, I send them to daycare because I just can't use them all. I try, but it's all just too hard. There's only so many things you can have. Hi, Helen. Now, we will want a white piece for the inside. And then we will need some white pieces for the stamping as well. So hopefully that's that. this, I might need that piece. And then I'll need to get my inks. Sorry, I couldn't find my basic grey. It went walkabout. So we'll put the cards bits to the side, work out what stamping we want. I think I want this and maybe this. And we'll probably stamp them. Yeah, I like keeping them all in the one area, Sue, because I used to keep all my scraps in one bag, but then I struggled to work out what colour scraps was what. So that didn't really work as well as I had hoped. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. So then I started keeping them all together, which is working much better. Because then especially with some of the greens and stuff, or is that this color, is that this color? And then you just spend too much time trying to work it out. And I was getting frustrated, so this solution seems to be working for me, which is good. Oh, and I want those dice. I like that. Oh, I might stamp the dice on the inside. This is the inside piece. We'll let that dry. I do find my basic grey sometimes needs a little bit longer to dry than other stamps. Oh, I like that. So that can go over there. Now, we don't have any DSP on this one, so what I think I will do is stamp this checkered one as the background piece. And so I'm just going to get that scrap in here again and just stamp this everywhere in the Merry Merlot. Now, if you don't have Merry Merlot, you can use Versamark ink. You will get a lighter stamped image, but it will still be the same tone. Whereas if I was to stamp this with like a cherry cobbler or something, it would be a completely different tone and it wouldn't look right. Okay, now I do have this cut out here, and I think this is from Tasteful Labels too. Hope your day is all fun and games. Is that gonna... That's probably a bit big. Maybe we might find something else that's a bit smaller, because that's a bit big. So then I've got this bag of stuff which I'll just close up this ink, that I've just stamped a few images, cut out a few things, but I haven't yet used them. So I often go in here before I start cutting other things. I know some demos that have loads and loads and loads of things cut. I don't have that many, but I do have stuff. So, lucky me because I have you. Is that going to fit there? Or maybe not. Will fit there. Will that fit? No. Alright, lucky me because I have you. Will fit on that one. The Game On one, Donna, I like this. They had a stamp years and years ago, which I've got in wood mount, with some cards that are separate, like so the whole king and the whole queen and things like that on cards, and I don't think I will ever get rid of it. But I was very pleased when they brought this one out. So we'll just get rid of those scraps. Yeah, it's nice. It's one of the, this has got a smudgy mark, but we'll probably fix that. It's one of the cheaper stamps. I think it's 30, 35, 38. It is a cling mount stamp, so I like the cling mount ones. And we might just stick this, what's this, club? Is that what it is, club? On this. Oh. With the tiny stamps, you don't want to rock your stamp too much, because otherwise you'll get a ghosting shadow on there. It doesn't happen if you use a smaller block, but you've all been watching me for long enough that I use the D block for everything. I don't really get out my smaller blocks. Close them up. Close up that. Now, I was going to cut these out. Okay, so you can tell I'm concentrating because I can't really cut and talk too much. Not that talented yet. I think it's because I've cut my fingers so many times with these scissors because they're so sharp. Okay, so there's that one. I think this is a good set. Like, it doesn't have to be blokey set, but it does help. But it's a bit like gender neutral type thing. Everyone likes cards or games or things like that. So I do like it, but I do tend to think of male cards with it, but only because we don't ever seem to have too many cards, too many stamp sets in the catalogue that are male orientated. But I think this catalogue is the largest amount of male stamps that I've seen on offering at one time. Ugh. Now, I don't know whether I'll use both these images, but what I do, I just stamp and I cut out thinking what I'll do in my head, and then wait till I start putting the card together, going, yeah, that'll work, or that won't. So, hi, Carol. Okay, they're cut out now. Now, if we kind of start putting our card together, work out what we want, we'll move those out of the way. Oh, those dimensional backs get everywhere. So on the inside, I think I'm going to hope your day is all fun and games. I'm going to put that on the inside. And I've got how will I do that? My father-in-law's into golf, and we no longer have the golf set. But other than that, he's not really into anything else, or like fishing or things, so it's a bit hard. But I've got my dad who's into fishing, and then the other one's in cars, but the last 2 years I've made him a card with the cars, with the geared up garage set, so I'm like, I can't continue using that. Got a smudgy fingerprint there, but that's all right. One year I even made my father-in-law a mini album to put, because he does up cars, and I made it all out of car paper and stuff, because he so he can put all these pictures of all the cars he does up. I don't know whether he's actually printed any pictures and stuck in it, but I can see the album on display when I go to their house all the time. Oh, I'm out of this again. This is my second one. I'm not changing that on camera, I'll just use the Seal Plus. Okay, so that checkerboard stamp just gives it a bit, gives the background just a bit of something on there. And then we've got these two, which we'll adhere with that. And then, hi Marie, I think we might stick them that way on there. Right, so we're going to have Adrian's just turned the TV off. It's so quiet now. So quiet. And we'll stick dimensionals on this. So this is going to be quite a poppy up card, but that's all right. It's being hand delivered on Sunday. And then take those dimensionals off. And then stick the sentiment down. And yeah, I like it, Kerry. And you know what, like, it doesn't have to be like this lucky me because I have you. That could be anniversary, could be birthday, could be any, like I'm doing it for Father's Day. But could be anything. I'm just going to tuck them behind there. So now that he's turned that other light off, there's a bit of a shadow. So you've got the stamping in the background there. You could emboss this other background as well, just to give it something. You could do a lighter one, because looking at that's a bit dark. But I think if in real life and in daylight, it won't be quite so dark. And then this one is, we're going to stick the whiskey bottles and the glasses on there, and I'll stick them on with dimensionals once they're all dry. So that'll probably be tomorrow that I'll do that, and then I'll post a picture on Instagram of that. So they're my two cards tonight. I've got one more to make, but I don't think I'm going to get to that tonight. That might be a tomorrow night job, because I've got to make 3. So I'm thinking my other card is going to be using the Sailing Home. set because my dad quite likes fishing and stuff. So I'm thinking I'll maybe do a bit of watercolor background or something and stick the boat in the lighthouse or something. This one does have coordinating dies on it, so you can cut out the boats and the lighthouse and anchor and stuff. So I might work on that tomorrow and then post that on Instagram when that's done. But these two don't come with dies, but they weren't that hard to fussy cut. But this set comes with coordinating dies as well. But they're 3 sets that are in the annual catalogue, so they'll be here at least until May, available. If you're interested, you can shop at my online store, which if you just go onto the Facebook page and click the button shop now, that will take you to my store. And yeah, hope everyone is prepared for Father's Day on Sunday and has a lovely weekend, whatever you're planning on doing. And catch up with you all next week. Thanks, guys. Good night.